Wow, can you guys believe that 2018 is over already? It really flew by, especially for me since I was so busy the whole time. Now, instead of relaxing for the end of the year like the sick little guy I am, and not sick as in weird, I mean sick as in I have the flu or something, I've decided to ride this medicine high. Tylenol's great, kids. And make at least one more video before I lay back in bed and feel bad for myself. So, it's no secret that I play a lot of Mania mods. I think that's kind of my thing. So I just figured it'd be fun to go through and list out some of my favorite Mania mods that I've played in 2018, and I'm going to be doing specifically Mania Plus mods because there were a lot more of those in 2018 than there were regular Mania mods. Anyway, before I start this, I just want to stress real quick that if your mod is not on this list, it doesn't mean that I didn't like it. It's just I'm a very forgetful boy. I tried to look back on every single thing I could, and let me just say my honorable mentions list is kinda long, so I have trouble sorting things into how much I enjoy them, because I enjoy things a lot. I enjoy a lot of things, you might say. So anyway, let's kick it off with number 10. Remember how moments ago I said that I have trouble grouping things into how much I enjoy them? Well, the first one here is a tie. In 10th place, we have Cape Mario and Silver the Hedgehog over Ray the Flying Squirrel. Once Mania Plus came out, I was pleasantly surprised with how much I enjoyed playing as Ray the Flying Squirrel. He quickly became my favorite, or let's say second favorite character, because you can't beat that drop dash. And I immediately said, as soon as I saw Ray, that looks like Cape Mario from Mario World. And it plays similarly to Cape Mario, except a little bit more fair. It's a little bit less broken than Cape Mario, which is probably a good thing, but I mean, honestly, Sonic Mania Plus is not a game that you could really break using Cape Mario anyway, so it's fine. But anyway, regardless, Cape Mario was the perfect fit for this, and I was very, very happy that Kaching came in and made an amazing mod for it. I even got to try it out a little bit early, and I was so ecstatic to check that out. Then, of course, we also have Silver the Hedgehog, who is my favorite character, who is again put over Ray by the Vagabond, and since I last played that, there's actually been an update that puts Shadow over Mighty. So you get 2 bangs for your buck there. Haven't checked out Shadow yet, but I'll have to do that in the near future. Let me know if you want to see that. But anyway, those 2 are great. Moving on to number 9. Just saying this man's name results in thousands of people quaking in their boots, for it is Hortness and Modern Sonic Mania Plus V2. Now, the only reason this is kind of higher up on the list is because I tried to keep sprite swaps above, actual levels and stuff that change gameplay, because they're a little bit like, once you get used to the aesthetics, it's pretty much just Mania. But, I mean, there have to be some on this list because there are some that are amazing, and this is one of them. Modern Sonic Mania was probably one of the coolest mods for regular Mania, and when it was updated for Mania Plus, oh dog, oh boy, oh dog, oh hedgehog. Like, I was so ecstatic, because it is so nice to look at. Hortness and Mortoroach, sorry, I know when I recorded that video, I didn't know Mortoroach was working on the mod, but now I do. So, these 2 made an amazing sprite swap mod. It's very comprehensive, and it honestly looks like some kind of official DLC. And if you haven't checked it out yet, please make sure to check that out and all of their other projects, because they are amazing. Now that we have that out of the way, moving on to number 8. And our first level mod on the list would have to go to Sea Tide Hill by Cam Jam. This is a stage that I found on Game Banana back a while, and I was like, oh, I'll check that out, as I do. And I was so pleasantly surprised that it was so much fun. It's a weird fusion between Sonic Heroes aesthetics, Sonic 4 aesthetics. I got like a little bit of a Sonic CD vibe from it, and also some Sonic Rush here and there with the Water Palace stuff. And both times I played it, I had a blast. It looks great, it sounds great with amazing music from Sound of Shadow and John Davis, and it was just a treat to play through, whether I was racing Dave in it, or I was playing on my own, and I really recommend you check this one out. And, I mean, if you want to race someone in this mod, I mean, the next entry on the list might be for you, because at number 7, we've got Competition Plus V3 and Multimania. Again, this is 2 entries technically, but they go together like sliced bread and peanut butter, or peanut butter and jelly, rather, because that makes a bit more sense. Complete the package, you know? So, Competition Plus, made by Angel the Gamer, adds a whole bunch of new stages to competition mode, and it even has the ability to use mods. So, like, you can take Sea Tide Hill, or any of the other mods that you might see that are level mods, for the most part, and you can use them as long as your friend is using the same thing. Or, I mean, if you're playing locally, it doesn't matter. And that ties into Mania, which is made by Supersonic 16 and Codename Gamma, which lets you play competition mode online. So if you connect to your friend online and have Competition Plus, you basically can play a whole slew of stages online with your friends, and you can even add more with mods, and it is such a rip-snorting good time, it's not even funny. Let me just tell you, it is such a cool thing to have something like that, especially made by the community. Like, Sonic Mania Plus was made by fans, for fans, and even after those fans were done making the game, more fans stepped up, and they knocked it out of the park. And we should really be thanking them for that, because this is amazing. Now, on to number 6. The Ultimate Shadow, or Shadow with Abilities mod. I wasn't really sure what to call this one, because I think Gamma called it Ultimate Shadow. But again, by Codename Gamma, this mod adds a fully functioning Shadow the Hedgehog to Sonic Mania Plus, and he shoots out little bullets that can destroy sprites on screen. And when I played this, I had so much fun just screwing around with the boss fights that were actually available to check out, and just playing through the levels in general, because it's so much different being able to run through these stages with an insta-kill projectile that can destroy everything in your path. Like, Shadow the Hedgehog, the game, might not be one of my favorites, but Shadow, the character, is. I do like Shadow. He's a fun character, and he's got some depth to him depending on what game you're playing, but depth doesn't matter when you've got a gun, and you can just completely wipe out the screen by mashing a button. Like, that is so much fun, and you need to check that out. And on to number 5. Sonic Mania Heroes by LJ Star Zero. Back a while, LJ Star Zero made the Sonic Mania Tag Team mod, which before Encore Mode was Encore Mode, except, I don't know if, I guess it was a little better, because as soon as you die, you don't lose the characters, but I mean, I guess Encore Mode was made to be harder, so whatever. Sonic Mania Heroes, however, allows you to have all 3 characters on screen at once, and you're able to switch between them, and there's no fear of death because you just all respawn once you're ready to respawn. This led to some very fun things in other mods as well, because it did have some compatibility, like when I used it with Sonic Mania and Sonic, or when I tried to use it for the Chaotix mod, I believe. I think that was the thing that happened, right? This is just so useful for the game, not just from like a mod showcase perspective, but just from a gameplay perspective. Because it's just a lot of fun and really easy to have all 3 characters on screen and be able to switch to them whenever you want. Plus, it can really enhance a playthrough because you're not restricted to just one of their playstyles or 2 of them based on Encore Mode. And it's none of that, like, you have to hit a monitor to switch to your 3rd reserve character. It's just, they're all right there. Bam, bam, bam. Go for it. Have fun. It's a great time. Now, on to number 4. Alright, I'm a tad bit biased because the first time I played this mod, it started my channel, but I do genuinely love this mod, and I see the work that's been put into it, and I am so glad that it's still around. We have Sonic Mania Repainted Plus. Back in the glory days of last October, which weren't very glorious at all, I played Mania Repainted, and I thought it was really cool. And then, fast forward to now, and there is an even better version for Mania Plus that has so much content in it. There's like 1 million songs. I might be exaggerating there, but not by too much. There are so many differences to the levels, and it's just, it's a work of art. I think that's the best way I could put it. You would find this in a museum in like 90 years, I think. Like saying like, this is modern art, except it's not modern because it's old at that point because it's 90 years old. But it would still be modern art, and it always will be. And you gotta check it out before I keep rambling at you, because otherwise I'm just gonna keep talking, and we're never gonna get to number 3. You ever look at Sonic Mania Plus and think, wow, there are too many stages here that everybody loves. Why don't we have things like Wacky Workbench in this game? Well, the Misfits pack is for you. It includes Hilltop Zone, Labyrinth Zone for some reason, Boardwalk Bayou, Metropolis, and Wacky Workbench. All stages that I don't think anybody in their right mind would, want to include in the base game of Sonic Mania. Not that they're bad, but these stages are very well put together. They've gotten the Mania treatment, and they're, like, so much fun to play through, it's not even funny. Unless you're watching someone who's having a lot of fun and they're making jokes, then it would be funny. But if you're just playing on your own, you're probably just going to go, wow, this is good. So, like, I did cover this a few times, and every single time I did, I knew it was just something special, because, like, the people that are working on this are doing crazy good work and making these stages a lot more stomachable than their original counterparts, I can tell you that much. Aside from maybe Hilltop Zone, because I feel like Hilltop was pretty neutral to begin with. But anyway, Labyrinth was definitely more of a fun time. I can tell you that with 100% certainty. Give this a shot if you missed some of those stages that didn't have a chance to be in Mania themselves. You won't regret it. And more things you won't regret. Moving to number 2. Alright, I feel a little weird about making this number 2 since it's Sonic 1 almost remastered. This mod impresses me a lot. A great deal, in fact. This mod recreates Sonic 1 in Sonic Mania, of course without the bosses, but there are some custom things in there that give you kind of the feeling of playing the bosses from Sonic 1, and Bonesburger gets really creative with this. I found like one or two of them a little bit slow or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's still the entirety of Sonic 1, which I like a lot, in Sonic Mania, which I like more, which is such a crazy cool idea, and it works so well. You have all 3 acts from every single stage, you've got those interesting boss ideas like I mentioned, you have new music for some of the acts, which is delicious. I was dying listening to this music. And there are also some extras that you can play in the game currently, like some other mods by Bonesburger, such as his Pac-Man Special Stage mod and his Whiteboard Blast Zone mod. There's even a preview for the 8-bit version of the mod in this mod currently, which means we're gonna have 8-bit Sonic 1 and 16-bit Sonic 1 in Sonic Mania in one package, which is, like, the coolest darn thing I've ever heard. And if that isn't the coolest darn thing you've ever heard, then you can get out of my face! I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. But let's move on to some honorable mentions. Now, like I said, this list is a bit long because I can't stop looking at how many good mods there are, but I just had to group things. I had to figure out 10 of them that I could put on a list. But here we go. First off, we've got the Crush fix, or the, make Sonic Mania less Mania-y fix. Because if you've played Mania, you might notice that sometimes you get crushed in dumb ways. This mod can help with that, helps with the hitbox. I haven't used it personally myself for a video because I didn't think I could make a video about it, but it is a useful tool if you want to play through Mania normally, and I would definitely recommend it. Another thing that you can throw in there for just Mania in general to have fun is the Outta Here Animations mod, which just adds a little bit of extra visual flair to the characters, and I've preached about this over and over again, but it is a great thing to look at, and it's just very fluid and nice. It's something that I feel like could have been included in the base game, but for some reason they just didn't. Next up, we've got Spectra Valley, which is a port of the level from the S-Factor Sonia and Silver, and whereas I don't love the original ROM hack that much because of some weird oddities with it, this level port's very nice, and as a bonus, it doesn't come with the really irritating boss in Green Hill Zone in that level, or Spectra Valley, rather. Next up, we've got Classic Amy, and this is a mod that I think it looks really nice, and it makes me think of what might have been if we had gotten one more DLC for Sonic Mania. Not that I think we need more, it's just, if we were to get more, I'd be pulling for either Amy or Metal Sonic. And finally, I don't know if this is cheating or not, but I needed to give a hand to the 8-bit Sonic 2 Revamp project. It is not a Mania Plus mod, that's why it's not on the rest of the list, but I really wanted to mention it because this mod, much like the Sonic 1 Almost Remastered project, is a love letter to the game that it's based on. The game that it's based on is not the most fun to play in my opinion, but the fact that you can play them in a better engine, and the fact that they have so much care and love put into them, it's just so nice to be able to see that and play that and have fun with that. But I really hope that does come back someday, because it hasn't been updated for Plus, and I'm not really sure if it's still usable unless you downgrade Mania, which is a bit of a chore. But that is all for honorable mentions, so we're going to move on now to number 1. Big Chungus in Sonic Mania. No, not really, but that does make me smile. The real number 1 is Yeah, I kind of sound like a broken record, but I absolutely love Sonic Advance 2 Mania, and the Plus update only made it better. I was gushing about this mod before it updated to Plus, but once Plus rolled around, I was really hoping and just waiting to see when it would come back, and bam! It comes back with 2 new playable characters, fixes for the old characters, fixes for anything that was wrong in the previously released levels, I think music fixes, because that was an issue at one point, and just... It was mind-blowing. Like, it felt like it came out of nowhere, but all of a sudden it was just, bam, there it is. It's back, and I am so happy about that. Because again, like I was saying for the Sonic 8-bit 2 project thing, that was horribly out of order. Playing levels that were in inferior engines, and just inferior games, in a game like Mania, which is, I have to say this right now, probably the best 2D Sonic game to date. Just, I'm gonna throw that out there, bold claim, but I believe it. It's just so much better. Some of the levels have fixes, there's not as many bottomless pits, which is beautiful, because that game was very bottomless pit heavy. I remember having a lot of traumatic memories with it as a child. It used to haunt me at night when I would reach for my Super Mario Advance 2 cartridge, and it would go, no, play me instead, but I'd say, no, I do not want to fall into the bottomless pits tonight. And it wouldn't take no for an answer. Honestly, I didn't like Sonic Advance 2 very much when I played it, but when I play this mod, it makes me want to like it more. And it makes me want to give it another chance, because the levels are cool, and they're fun ideas, and there's cool things there, but they just weren't executed as well as they could have been, and that's what this mod is. This is like the Unleashed project for Generations, except for Sonic Advance 2 for Mania, if that makes any sense. It's so well done. Like, please, give this a shot if you haven't already. It is available for Plus, hasn't been updated in a while, but I'm really pulling that this comes back as well, and I have confidence that it will, because it's too good to let go. And that brings this list and 2018 to a close. Again, if I didn't mention your mod on this list, don't take offense to it, don't feel bad, don't anything like that, please, because I loved all the mods I played this year, and I'm looking forward to playing even more mods in 2019, along with doing some new things that I'm not going to elaborate on just yet, but I'm hoping you'll like them. It still involves mods, don't worry. Mods and fan games, as always. But yeah, thank you all for watching this year. I really appreciate that you've enjoyed my content as much as you have. I'm glad that I'm still having fun doing this. It's honestly been a really amazing year, and I wouldn't have traded anything that happened this year for anything. I'm having a great time, and I promise to keep having a great time for as long as I'm able to. Now, before I crash back into illness, I just wanted to say, please have a happy new year. I will see you guys again in January, and I apologize again for not being able to upload every single day in these last few days and coming days, because I am really being hit hard by this cold. But, at least I'm okay for right this second. It's not gonna be the case a little bit later, but I'll be fine. I'm a tough guy. And now for my final sponsors call out for the year. We've got Game Masters, Cringe Channel, Cosmic Mushroom, Lucas Tallman, Dire Pants, Nico the Person, Mitron, Kenneth Gutierrez, Knuckles Channel, Freya Knuckles, Random Indolent, Henry S., Rob Morrison, Mega Trafficon Creative, and Mike TGC. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring, it really means a lot, and if you have any interest in becoming a sponsor yourself, please make sure to check out the link in the description for more information and all the benefits, such as being shouted out at the end of every single video and stream. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I look forward to doing a lot of things in 2019.